Incredible. Hey folks, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I hope you're all having a really, really good Thursday. I've just realised I can barely hear the music. So just a touch. Okay, not very many of you here today, which is fine. It's a Thursday, it's going to be quiet, it's going to be chill. So V-Rug Dush, thank you so much for being here and for being first today. Congratulations. Funky's here too, so is Moons of Empire. Simple Steph May says, hi, this is the first time I've made a stream. Well, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for being here. Godzilla Waddle says, good afternoon as well. Frankie's here too, and so is Gemma. Good afternoon, folks. Nice, quiet, easy stream today. Just got a customer build. It's a Tofu TKL. The group buy arrived day before yesterday. What day are we on? Thursday, Tuesday. So we shipped all the orders out yesterday, and this customer's requested a build, so they ordered some switches and stabilizers last night, and that's what we're going to do on stream today. I was not planning for this to be today's stream. I was expecting this to actually happen in a couple of weeks' time, but the boards arrived a lot sooner than we expected. So time to crack on with the build today. Just to give you some updates in terms of PT and where we're at. Sorry, I'm sat on my wallet and it's hurting my bottom. Right, so where we're at this week, our shipment should be in port today at some point. The container was delayed. The ship was delayed due to Storm Chandra, I think it was called. So it was supposed to originally land in Felixstowe on the 25th of the month, but it's actually only landing today. I don't know what time the boat hits port. I think it depends and varies, but it's just off the coast of Felixstowe now, and it will be in port at some point today. From there, I think we have something like 60 different group buys and products in this shipment. From there, what will happen is it will get taken off the container, devanned out of the container, put in a bonded warehouse. Then we'll get an invoice for the import bill, which will be 100 grand or whatever it is. And then it will get shipped to us. So I'm expecting it to arrive in about a week's time. I'm hoping it arrives on Monday, Tuesday, but realistically it's probably going to be Thursday, Friday next week. So that shouldn't be too far away. And then Mel and I can spend most of February just getting all of those orders out. The next container is actually just about to set sail as well. That sets sail on the 3rd of February. Or that might be the cut-off date when we have to put things in the container. So the next one's almost due to leave as well. So that'll only be 4 or 5 weeks away, and then we'll have another one. So it's going to be a busy couple of months. Up to the end of March is kind of like, from next week up until the end of March is really busy for us. So we'll see how it goes. Simple Steph says, been in the Discord and a prototypist buyer for ages. Well, thank you very much for that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Storesness is here as well. Average Joe says, hey pal. Welcome back to the stream, Joe. So yeah, so that's kind of like the plan for this week, is to just prep for that shipment arriving. Next week it will be continue that prep and then tackle the shipment when it does arrive. And the week after we'll just all hands on deck, get that shipment out as fast as possible. To compound it, there's a few other things happening in the background. I'm still hoping to move house at some point. I need to chase that up today and send some emails this afternoon after stream, because it seems to have stalled and I need to chase solicitors on all 3 parties. The people who are buying the house off, my solicitors selling my house and buying the other one, and the people buying my house. I need to kind of like chase everyone and see where we're at and what we're up to. But I feel like there must be some sort of complication that's happening that I'm just not aware of yet that's slowing things down, so we'll have to face into that over the weekend, which is kind of disappointing, but it'll be what it'll be. Anyway, we've got about 2.5 hours to stream today. I think I might have to dip for 5 minutes when DHL arrives to pick up the DHL packages for today, but then other than that, the only thing I absolutely have to leave for about 3:45 is I'm off to the barber's because my beard needs trimming and my hair needs cutting. It's too long. So I do have a barber's appointment this afternoon that I have to get to. So yeah, that's going to be that. New house hype. I hope everything goes smoothly. Thanks, Moons. I appreciate that. It's been a long process. Like we sold our house. We accepted an offer on our house and had our offer accepted on another house back in October. So all of November, all of December, and now all of January. It's been nearly 4 months. So it's just really frustrating at this point. Just really frustrating. But it is what it is. I do have some new samples of something to show you as well later on. This is a new profile from Mateo, PFF. They only arrived today. I haven't even opened these and looked at them yet, but it is the PFF sample that literally arrived this morning. So I will show you guys that in a few minutes' time as well. And then I'll have it on the stream on Sunday, the proper big stream on Sunday too, as well as some other things. I think we're building a flyback board. I do actually have the board we're building on Sunday over here. It's a customer build again, but it's a board from Flybeck, which isn't... I've only built 1 or 2 of Flybeck's boards before, so and it's been a while, so I'm interested to see how that goes on Sunday, but that should be nice and good fun as well. Right, what else do I need to show you or tell you? We should probably do the whole shilling thing. I'm terrible at this, but let's flip over to here, and if I do that, you should be able to see the website. Only thing is, I can't see the website. Where has it gone? There it is. You can see it, but I couldn't see it. I have rejigged the site a little bit. I've spent a lot of this week rejigging the site and changing some images. Like some of the images we had for the backgrounds up here were a bit stale, so I've updated all of these images so it looks a bit fresher and a bit newer and entices people in. I've also had a few people saying they were struggling to find group buys and pre-orders, so I've moved this right to the very top on the homepage, and then you get to the in-stock products, and then you have all of the usual stuff underneath. The other thing that I've been keen to do is kind of like help people get in touch with us as well, because I think few people have struggled with that. So I have put a form on basically all of our pages. That's going to start to be added on to some of the product pages and things like that in the next coming days as well. And the other thing I've done just this morning is updated all of our email flows. So the automated emails that get sent when you order something, or after you make a second order with the store, or things like that, all of that got updated this morning. I spent 5 hours updating that after I'd packed packages for the day. So yeah, that was nice and fun, and it should be good. There's been a couple of other tweaks around the back end of the site as well, and yeah, just mainly images updated, a couple of wording changes, some SEO stuff, that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm glad you like the stock notification moons. That's really, really good. So yeah, so we've built this into here, so you can now see what's available and what's sold out nice and easily instead of just relying on the drop downs, which is good. It's fun. Anyway, go check out the website, do a buy. Manu just announced that Control is shutting down. Oh really? I've not heard this. Wait, what? We were just doing some projects with him, like literally talking about some upcoming projects. Wait, what? Okay, let's check this out. Let's check this out. Control will be closing its doors in 15 days. Due to certain internal matters, it's no longer viable to continue this project. Okay, so I'm reading the announcement to vendors here. This isn't like the vendor announcement server. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not in the public server because I'm in the vendor server. I'll drop Manu a message. I've dropped him a message. Let's see if he's okay. Sad Panda. Yeah, it's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. That's normally I speak to Manu quite a lot and he tells me a lot of stuff. So I have no idea what's happened with that. But yeah, okay, interesting. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just typing to Manu now. Okay, cool. Right. Manu seems a bit upset. That's sad. That's sad. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess from what it said in the vendor side Discord, I say I'm not in all the public Discords because I just couldn't be in them all. But in the vendor side Discord, it looks like well, there's no reasons given, but it looks like there's all the projects that are in flight are just going to continue as normal. That doesn't seem to be affected. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Wow, what sad news. If you guys find anything more about that, just drop it in chat or chat about it on the Discord server, and then I'll see it later on. But that's really sad. Yeah. Okay. So shilling done. That's kind of I won't shill too much on these short streams on a Thursday, but yeah, the website's had a lot of changes today, especially in terms of email flows. Like I didn't realize you could make it so complex with Shopify's backend in how and when to determine what emails are sent. So
tasty.
That was something fun. Jellymaster, thank you so much for lighting up my pink rocket ship. That is 50 months in a row. That's kind of crazy. 50 months, dude. That's huge. Huge amount of time. I didn't even realize we'd been streaming on this channel for 50 months. That's kind of insane. I wonder if this will affect smaller vendors. Control had a lot of projects. I'll do some shilling for you. Go do a buy. Thanks, Marines. I appreciate that. Yeah, get everyone to go do a buy. Yeah, I mean, it'll affect us as well, VRugDush, because we were the UK partner for all of Control stuff. So I don't know if that means that will continue with the projects that we're going to be in Control or what. It's something I'll have to delve into the conversations about. But yeah, it's a shame because Control is starting to become really I don't want to say anything out of turn, but like a lot of project houses in keyboard world are not run particularly well. And by that I mean it's people who are very well intentioned in the hobby but don't have any project management experience or skill set, and you tend to find that communication dips, or updates are not forthcoming, or stakeholder investment isn't there, there's no review units for everyone, or there's some things, language barriers, timescales change and there's no communication for it. There's often things like that, and Control were one of the groups that was learning about this constantly on the go, and over the past 6 months there's been a marked change in terms of just how our interaction with them, how things are structured for invoicing and shipments and all of that kind of stuff, kind of all pulls together. So yeah, okay, so Manu says, I don't need to worry about ongoing projects and anything. He's going to finalise those and he's not disappearing. Okay, I'll message Manu back later on and have a good chat with him. But yeah, it's sad, but you know, there's not much money to be made in keyboards right now, and the only way to become a new vendor or to grow a vendor is to steal market share from another vendor. There is no real, it's not a growth market, it's a shrinking market, and everyone's clawing for survival in many different ways. So it's interesting and it's sad, but these things do happen, and yeah, such is life. I feel bad for Manu. I'll definitely have a long chat with him later on and find out what's going on. Right, okay, so done the shilling, we've talked about updates. We've talked about the shipment that's arriving and the next shipment that's coming as well. We talked about the website that I've been updating and doing all of that kind of stuff. So I guess it's time to build a keyboard. Normally this bit takes like an hour and we've been 15 minutes, so it's kind of fun. But yeah, so we're building a Tofu TKL today. Now the customer did send me a whole list of how they want it building and assembling. So I'm just going to dig that out and I can tell you how we're going to build this. Where's my to make list? Right, so we're building it ISO. ISO enter and everything else standard. Okay, interesting. So he wants it ISO enter. Let me see if I can share this image with you guys so you can see what I'm talking about here, how he wants it built. Where's my browser gone? There it is. Okay, so this is the customer's request from a build perspective. They want a standard layout, so full left shift, full caps lock. They want a 6.25U bottom row, but they want ISO enter. Interesting. So it's not a full ISO layout, it's just semi-ISO layout. Okay. Okay. That's an interesting layout. If they've bought a Wing, I'm going to just check them and make sure they haven't bought a Wing keyless board, because if they have bought a Wing keyless board, we might have to do the Wing keyless bottom row layout. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is a Wing key layout. Okay, so it is Wing key, yeah. Yeah, they're going for yeah, ANSI ISO layout. ANSI ISO is what it's usually called, but it's, yeah. Do you know what this layout that the customers requested? This is actually used a lot in point of sale terminals in the US. Like a lot of US point of sale terminals use it over standard ANSI. So yeah, that's a thing. Right, okay, so that's what the customers requested we build it for them. And we are building it with pumpkin switches today. So let's take a look at that. Oh, actually, before we do, let's take a look at this new profile from Mateo and Key Creative. So this is Penguin Flatfoot, and this is a low profile project. Do you know what? It was an IBM thing, VRugdush. So the reason why it was used in a lot of point of sale terminals was because it was an IBM thing, and IBM had a load of the keyboards because they've been building them for the European market for a long time. And the European market didn't adopt things as fast as the US market did. So they had all this glut of ISO layout built stuff, and they had to use it in some way, so they just shoved it all in the US point of sale terminals. It was better to use it than to not use it. So yeah, Depleted Vespine was the guy that figured that out. Oh shit, this is a whole freaking set. Oh wow. I thought I was getting some sample caps. I didn't realize I was getting a whole damn set. This is basically a purchase priority, but for low pro keyboards. So this is Penguin Flatfoot. It is dice up, yeah. But the legends are pretty clear. Let me zoom right in so I can hold them in the light. The black is black. Like the black is pretty black. Holding it up next to GMK. That's MT new, so it's pretty black. The legends look really, really good. Multiple colors on a single keycap. Everything's nice and straight and square. Certainly on this keycap. Cherry MX, but low profile. No fading or banding on the sides, just the way the light's shining on it. That's pretty good. In fact, that's excellent. Really crisp legends. Everything looks square and straight. I think that keycap's just wonky in the tray. Yeah, the spaces are dice-upped as well. But the dice-up is really, really quite good because there's no fading down the sides of the front edges at all. You can see that the light reflects on it, but there's no fading or banding. It's pretty good. Nice and square. The legends look great. Key Creative are really coming into their own with this stuff. That's really, really cool. I don't know if I have a low pro board I can put this on, to be honest, but I'll try and dig one out for Sunday, because that's going to be interesting to put on a low profile board. Yeah, they just needed something to put on sample keycaps. I don't know why they picked a purchase priority. I don't believe that's going to be one of the first sets for sale. There are two that we're planning on doing with Canon keys. Yeah, which is Retro Verdant and something else I've forgotten. Yeah, there doesn't look to be any warping or anything else. The spacebars looks really, really nice and flat. Let me try them out on here. So, I mean, the stems sit proud, so it's really hard to tell because the stems do sit slightly proud, as you can see there, because that's just how they need to be for these. But there doesn't look to be any warping. Does that mean you can use the same dice being setup for PBS and PFF? I believe so, yes. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. I didn't realize I'm getting a whole set of that, but hey. It's really nice of them. Is there a huge demand for low-profile keycaps? Not really. We've stocked some low-pro switches in the past and they didn't sell really well, so we ended up giving them to another vendor who I think have managed to sell them. Low-profile keycaps isn't something we get asked for very often, but there's a lot of people out there with Newfie boards and low-free boards that use low-profile MX style mounting switches, so these will be great replacement keycaps for them. So traditionally they can't replace the keycaps because they have to replace them with full travel keycaps, so, and that doesn't work particularly well. So maybe this will help. We'll see. Right, okay, let's take a look at the customer's build today then. So we are using night stabilizers, which are these ones. We're using pumpkin switches, which are these ones. These are stock. And then let's get the customer's board out. It is in a box. I'm just going to take it out of the box first. So first of all, they do get a wrist rest with this because they ordered the wrist rest. Now I'm not going to show that on stream because that is the customer's and it's all sealed. So I'm going to leave that sealed for the customer. There's also the strap, because everyone needs a good strap. And that's because you can wear this carry case using these side toggles, so you can have it as a satchel, which is kind of fun. Now this is really, really heavy as a keyboard. Let's move my coffee out of the way. So we've got a few things in here. We have some tools. We have some pouches. We have some foams. And we have a plate. So we have a foam pack here. I think the customer said to use all the foams. Just double check that. The customer wants us to build this as top mount. Okay. We have the polycarbonate plate. Always a nice addition to our board. Nice and flexible. We have the PCB here. This is hot swap. And it is ISO. We do have the foam pack as well, which we will utilise. PE sheet, switch foam, and then underneath as well. Thanks. There we go. That's all of that prepped. Now it's time to show you guys the keyboard itself. So we shouldn't need the tools today because I will be using my own tools, but we'll leave them back in there for the customer. Door-to-board screws and plate screws, we need those because that's what we're going to be using for the top mount. Force brake stickers and silicone feet we will need as well. PCB silicone pellets, we shouldn't need those because we're not using the pellet mount. And plate silicone pellets. The customers asked for us to build it top mount, so I don't think we need those, but I'll leave them out just in case. And then in here is the keyboard itself. This is a proper heavy keyboard. need to, if this isn't clear coated and it is totally raw, which I can't tell, I'm tempted to go get some gloves just to handle this for the build, because I don't want to put any fingerprints on it. Give me 30 seconds, guys. I'm just going to go get some rubber gloves for this build. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Things people don't often realise you need as a keyboard vendor. Right. So this is raw aluminium and copper. So you can see it's got that lovely, beautiful machined finish to it. Wooden insert right there in the middle. And what a beefcake this is. This is so heavy. Let's get some feet installed first. Oof. These, I thought these would have sticky pads on, but they don't. Are they just supposed to be pressure fit? Oh, I see. They are just pressure fit. Only they don't fit. Well, that's interesting because they're not actually holding it in the spot. Interesting. Okay, we'll come back to the feet. We'll come back to the feet. I also don't know why there's so many of them as well. But I'm pretty sure that they don't have like a peelable backing on them. If you look up close, there's no sticker on the back. Yeah, I thought there might be friction fit, but they don't seem to want to stay in, no matter which orientation I put them. They're not friction fit. They don't push in any way, shape, or form. So that's slightly concerning. We'll come back to them. Let's get the board taken apart. I think we're going to need that screwdriver. But it's Torx, not. Might just have to go down a size on the Torx over here. There's no sticky out bits. Yeah, it's interesting. Like the there's definitely no. I'll try without the gloves on later on, see if I can find a peelable backing on there. But I'd be surprised anyway because they're supposed to go with screws underneath them. So it's
tasty, tasty.
Zizora, thank you so much for lighting up my pink rocket ship just over my shoulder. 19 months in a row. Yeah, with these you'd expect them not to have sticky and just be friction fit because there's screws underneath them. But Jay, just curious, is there something you would say is similar to the Vela HE, 60% and 65%? Not yet, but there is stuff in the works that we'll be doing soon. You might want to look at stuff like the Gihern and the Kafka, which are in group buy right now. The Kafka actually does have a Hall effect option as well. Looks like the feet just pop in. Yeah, I mean, they don't. Unless you're just supposed to wedge them in. I mean, they kind of do if you do that, but that doesn't feel right. It's, I think there's different thickness ones as well, so I just want to make sure we get them all the same. I think maybe I just have to force them in like that. So these will be for the back. Just doesn't feel right. This is not how I would do feet. Anyway, we'll need to put them back, the screws back in, so we can go ahead with that as the way of doing it. But I wouldn't say I was a fan of that way of adding feet. We will need those later on. I think we've taken all the screws out. We've certainly undone them all. I think we've got one stuck in here. Yeah. This screw does not want to come out. There we go. It is now out. So, as you can see, this customer's gone for a solid slab of brass and copper for the base. Ugh. And it even has the internal copper weights, which you can see on the left and the right. No, it's just that this is a raw aluminium customer build, so that's why we're doing this. Right, now the case is apart and we've figured out pretty much how we're going to install the feet. I am going to move this to one side. We will weigh it at the end because it is absolutely ridiculously heavy. Like, it is stupidly heavy. I wouldn't be surprised if that was over 5 kilos. Right, gloves off, now we can do the actual keyboard build. And then we'll put the gloves back on for the end of the assembly. My hands are really getting sweaty in there. Customer is a person of culture. Jay tattooed his hands blue. No, I would never do that. I have always thought about getting the backs of my hands tattooed, but I don't think I ever will. Okay, let's grab a cloth. Right, so for stabilizers, as we talked about before, this customer wants a slightly unique layout. They want ANS ISO, so they want a shift stabilizer here, they want ISO here, they want full backspace, and then they want a 6.25U bottom row. It is still sometimes problematic in the corporate world. It is. And considering that I know I'm going to have to go back to work, like, I am covered in tattoos already, but but you know, going full hand tattoos is the next step, I think. Yeah, Jimmy, you're more covered than I am, I think, from what I've seen. Not that that sounded really bad. I didn't mean it that way. Okay, so we're building with 6.25 U space. Just keep that back here for the customer spare parts. And then we've got backspace, ISO enter, and full left shift. So there's 2 we don't need, and the 7U. PT on forehead. If you get the PT logo on your forehead, I will let you have pick of any keyboard from my collection. You cover most of yours, though. I think mine are covered most of the time. I think a couple of visible if I wear shorts and short sleeve tops, but few and far between, really. Yeah, feel free to get the PT logo tattooed. I will absolutely support that. I'll even send you all of the files that you might need, and even put you in touch with some good tattoo artists. You can have a lifetime discount code, yeah. Can you imagine? Right. I think I'm just about out of lubricant in this brush pen. It's done about, I want to say, 100 keyboard builds, this XHT BDZ. But I think it'll be time for a new pen this week. Is discount code linked to visibility? Yeah, yeah. And size. Size and visibility. Even I don't have a PT tattoo yet. "70% of your body is a huge tattoo." That's a lot of tattooing. The cost of having that done would never pay back. The cost of the keyboard you'd want, I don't think. Certainly not by a decent artist, anyway. Can you imagine 70% of your body tattooed with the PT logo? The second someone does it, change the logo. Shame I already have my back done. My bum is 70% of my body. No, it's not. Give over. I have majority Ghibli tattoos on my legs and underwear. I don't know where that moved as I was reading it. I thought it said underwear, underwater theme on one arm. Clearly, I've got that naughty mindset today. Hi Jay, just wanted to say a big thank you to you and your team's swiftly speedy turnaround on the Tofu. Was not expecting a dispatch so quickly. No worries, man. If yours is already on the way, that's great. If this one's yours, then yeah, it'll be shipping out tomorrow. This is lubricant, Natello. This is XHT BDZ lubricant, and it comes in like a little brush pen. We stock these on the website, and you just twiddle the knob and it pushes lubricant into the brush tip, and then you can apply it. But it basically stops the stabilizers rattling and moving in unnecessary ways. It makes them sound a lot deeper. and it just makes them a nicer experience to type on. Stabilizers are often the weakest part of a lot of builds. Getting a custom paint job from Slopian. Nice. Is this your build then, Laserfox? Or is this, did you just get another board? Because we did ship the wire yesterday. Full right shift also. Yeah. So, backspace, ISO enter, left shift. Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, you're alright. I need another stabilizer, yes. Well spotted, good sir, well spotted. You are absolutely correct. Thank you. If there's one thing you do to every keyboard in the world, it's lubricate the stabs. Yeah. Thank you for the link, Demotex. I need to take one of the XHTB these E-pens out of stock, so I've got one for upcoming builds because this one is pretty close to being done. Okay, we need one more stabilizer. Yeah, R2's not too far away from Make Planets in production right now. We actually just got word today that Mutagen and something else is actually being dispatched from GMK the next day or two. Can't remember what the other set was. Oh, Nerve-Wrecker. Nerve-Wrecker's on its way now. Hey, Batas, thank you so much for 7 months of subs, 37 months of subs, and for lighting up my pink rocket ship. I hope you're keeping well, Batowski. Sad to hear about Control thinking of Wrecker. Yeah, it is sad that they've decided to close doors. I'll catch up with Manu later on. I wasn't aware that it was about to happen. Manu and I normally talk quite a lot, so I'm kind of surprised, but I'll have a chat with him and find out what's going on later. I think Bowl will still continue, and I'll try and make sure that I can still work with those guys as well, because we've done a lot of projects together so far. Remember, when you are lubricating stabs, you don't want to put too much lube on. We're just trying to make it move smoothly, not trying to gum up the works. Too much grease is as bad as no grease sometimes. Paul seems like a great guy. Yeah, he's a nice guy. A lot of time for him. Okay, that's the stabilizers all lubricated up. Time to get them in the board. Let's get the PE sheet ready. So we're just gonna line the PE sheet up on the board itself, make sure everything's looking good, and then we can install our stabilizers. things on the screws. It's been a while, happy to catch up. Jay Saints, hey man, hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in ages. This is the guy behind, if I remember correctly, Cat Monochrome and some other cool sets back in the day. So I'm just prepping the screws at the minute, putting the washers on, ready to install. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. There we go. Right, let's grab a little screwdriver and then we can start to install these. So remember, when you're screwing these into the back of the stabilizer, you just want to go until it's finger tight and then a quarter turn more. Don't want to go too tight, don't want to damage the PCB. I have seen some people tighten these screws up before so tight that they've actually cracked the PCB. So make sure that's not you. Okay, now we're going to put in the shift on the other side of the board. And don't forget, guys, if you've got any questions about keyboards or anything else, ask away in chat. I am open to any question about any topic. And sometimes, if you ask a really good question, we even give out prizes. Free desk mats, that kind of stuff. Took a step back from the hobby last year, but looks like I'm back in, been slowly rebuying keyboards for proper rotations. Nice. We're building with the ISO enter, J, not NC. What keyboards have you been buying, J Saints? Anything good? How do you think that AI will impact the keyboard hobby? So this is a discussion I've had with a few people actually. So from our perspective, because I'm basically the only person that does the web development for the site, it's helped me vibe code some new things, and it's been useful for generating product descriptions and things like that, and consistency across the website. But it's not something we've used for kind of like creative stuff, because I think that you know, creative people will always be better than AI. So far, I've seen desk mats for sale on other vendors' sites that have been designed by AI. Don't like that. I feel like they're just taking something away from the designer community by doing that. In terms of just in general, I think the way we interact with AI is going to change over time, and I do think that using input devices is probably going to drop. So do I think we'll all be using keyboards the same as we do now in 10 years time? Probably not. We'll just talk to our computers for the vast majority of it. You know, it's something that's been coming for decades now, that we just talk to machines rather than interact with them through a peripheral of some sort. And I think that's going to grow. The type of people who are buying keyboards will continue to buy them because they're going to be people like me who still want to write and type and use a nice tool to do a job with. I think gaming will still use a lot of mouse and keyboard even in 10 years time. But what I'm most not looking forward to, what I'm most worried about, is that people will start using AI to completely design printed circuit boards, keyboard cases, stuff like that. It's great to use AI to help you market a product. That's fine. It's great to use AI to help you respond to customer emails. That's fine too. But to take over the creative side of stuff, it just feels a bit, I don't know, feels a bit like a negative way of moving the hobby forwards. I think you'll change your mind on that, Zazora, over time. Feels like a larger cognitive load. Eventually it will become no different to having a conversation. So, yeah. Predictions for, have you made any 2026 predictions for the hobby this year? Maybe in terms of technology progressing in a certain direction you'd like to see. I haven't made any predictions as such. I think that Hall effect will continue to grow. I think that kind of thing will still happen. I think that the gaming market will move more towards custom keyboards, but that will be very much in the vein of companies starting to offer more custom style keyboards like the big players. We've already seen it with the likes of Corsair and things like that, so I think we'll see more of that in time. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, but I think we'll definitely see more of that. In terms of design language and stuff, I think we'll see more bright colors. I think more pastels and more neons are going to happen in key sets and keyboard designs. I think colored polycarbonate is going to have a massive swing based on conversations we've had with 4 or 5 designers. It's always been reasonably big as colored polycarbonate, but I think there's like a whole big push of it in the design background from what I've seen. So I think that's going to happen across 2026. And the other big thing you'll see in the keyboard hobby is more vendors moving away from keyboards to other things. So I've been talking with Clever Keeps about coffee stuff, because I also have a coffee roastery. I make my own coffee, which we sell on Jay's Roastery. And I've been speaking to Mike at Novel Keys about his new venture, which is replacement wrist, not watches, but replacement wrist straps for Disney park tickets, which you get a little RFID token for. That's Landworld Supply. And you know, other vendors are starting to move into different things. I've been speaking to other vendors about exporting the coffee that we make to them. That's been something that's been kind of discussed with a few different vendors now. And I think we're definitely going to see a lot of progression in those kinds of directions. So we'll see. There seems to be a shift to voice input. I think that voice input will be the next big thing in terms of how we interact with computers. We've tried it on and off for years, and I think that it's now finally going to come to fruition, especially once it becomes as normal as general language. Once it becomes as easy to talk to your PC and to your phone as it is to have a conversation with your wife, your partner, your best friend, that's when we'll see it move. I don't think talking to machines is intuitive as using a keyboard. Right now, I agree, Dr. Debonair, but when it becomes as easy as having a conversation with people, I mean, you already see that these, you know, there's AIs behind all of these HoloLive characters and things like that. It's an expansion of that. I think it will become more and more natural. Something's only unnatural because you don't do it, right? We can go to the toilet doing a handstand, but if we did, it would become natural. It would become the normal thing. So the more it becomes commonplace and the more you see it in workspaces, the more it becomes acceptable and intuitive. I don't like to have conversations either. That's fair. Maybe it can understand grunts instead. Well, I think it will. It'll start to learn you, just like your partner would do, or your mother or father or sister, or, you know, whoever knows you. That's how it will learn. ClickClack, I think, have moved away from solar keyboards. They sell desks and PC monitors. Yeah, I mean, we're actually looking at branching out into arcade stuff as well. That's one of the things that I've been looking into. I'm in the process of agreeing a contract to sell some new monitors designed for arcade cabinets. So that's absolutely something I want to progress. Candy Keys is input gear now. Yeah, I've been doing the coffee for just over 18 months now, and that's hopefully going to continue and grow in the next year. I've been looking at doing an apparel company with a friend of mine, and that's, you know, well, I've started to build a website for it. So there's, in fact, I'm wearing a t-shirt for it today. I'm not No, I was wearing it yesterday. So there's a whole raft of people who are, you know, relatively well known in this hobby that are moving forward with new projects in fields that are adjacent to or akin to keyboards. Yeah, kind of keys have gone to input gear. Yeah. I wonder how many will pivot to a lifestyle brand like Rama tried to. I think that would be less common. Are we going to be made to do toilet hands? No, but my point was, so one of the things that, like, I hope that, I know we're talking about toilets now, but it's got me on this vein, not on this vein of thought, is one of the things that's not standard today is using a bidet, right? It's not standard. I have one at home. I love it. It's great. I've been thinking about putting one here at the workshop if we end up staying here. I don't know what's happening with this building yet, but if we do, I might put one in here. Because if you think about it, if you were walking your dog and you had to pick up the poop, you scoop the poop, and you got poo on your hand, when you got home, you wouldn't just wipe it off with some dry towel and then leave it. You'd go and wash your hands, right? You'd go and wash your hands. So why on earth is a bidet not normalized? And I think once a bidet does become normalized and everyone use a bidet wherever they are on every toilet, they'll look back at, oh yeah, I'm glad we don't use just toilet paper anymore, right? It's the same kind of thing. It's the same kind of thing. And I get that some people are weirded out by bidets, but like, once it becomes the norm, it becomes the norm, and that will change. And I think that's going to happen with input devices as well. I think you've mentioned doing EDC gear in the past. Yep, I want to look into some EDC type gear. There are prototypes that are out there that for EDC gear. So yeah, that's something that I'd like to do. Quantum, good afternoon, good sir. Not enough people even wash it properly in the shower. I wish they would. Yeah, I mean, I do have some people I know who will always go in the shower after they've been to the toilet, which is quite funny. I've used Japanese toilets before. It was great until I realised I didn't know what the Japanese was off for, and there was like a million buttons. Yeah, well, when they start becoming in English language, which they do, you can get them in English language, those posh toilets. Like, it's just a cleaner way of being, and you know, I think that's something that we need to push forward with as the human race. It's like one of those things that we should just be doing now, and it's kind of silly that we're not. I have to throw that switch on the floor. Yeah, the old school bidets though, they used to use just cold water and things like that. The modern ones will heat the water up and it's just nice and comfortable, and they'll air dry you afterwards, and you know, that should be what we're using technology for, right? I don't understand them. Why we find them culturally weird in the UK. Same here, dude. I absolutely believe that we should be moving towards them, and that's one of the things I wish we I hope we do in the next few years, is move more towards a bidet. The house we're hoping to buy has got one in the bathroom as well, but it needs retrofitting, so with heated options. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that I think we need to change and need to look into. But as I say, I do genuinely think that things like that will start to impact keyboards speaking to AI, and going that way, and it will become normal once we can have a conversation like I'm having a conversation with you guys, and it's not disjointed and it's not uncomfortable. I think it will just become very, very popular very, very quickly. You get excited when a hotel bathroom has one. Most hotels that I've been to in Europe have one. It's because the old school European ones are illegal in the UK because of the risk of contamination of drinking water, which has been brainwashed that they're not okay, even though they're very different now. Yeah, so the reason for that is because the way that our pipes are in the UK, I looked into this years ago. If you have, there is a slim chance that water that is in the handle of the spray, if you have like a handle spray bidet, which is probably what most people would want rather than the toilet seat one, there is a slim chance that some of the water in the handle can go back into the pipe. Now the water in the handle is technically never going to have any fecal matter in it because it's not actually touched you, and the water that's flowing away from you is what touch it. But there is, because the water in our houses work on a loop, there is a chance that it could go back in. Now what you can do is you can put a stopgap canister in there with an air bleed that can sit inside the wall even and be hidden away, that will actually stop that going, that flowing back into the pipework. It's like a one-way valve, and once the water's in there, it's in there. That's absolutely something we can do, and yeah, whilst it's technically illegal, I think if you did it at home, no one would ever know. Dr. Devon, I never expected to learn about such deep B-Day lore, but here we are. Yeah, I mean, I think we should make them standard, and especially in like new builds and stuff like that. Why not? Why on earth not? Is this label for 1.25U? I think it's going to be that and that, I think. That looks about right. Okay. Just going to make sure I'm getting these in the right spots. I think we're good. We can change these later on. I'm not too worried because they're hot swap, so we can always change them later on if we need to. I wanted more fitted but ran out of budget at the time. Next renovation for sure. Yeah, it's something that's going to be on for me. Left slots on the left, right slots on the right. Yeah, yeah. Just I worry about putting bottom row switches in. More PCBs need to label it. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen the PT80, but we absolutely do label every single option on the bottom row, so it's really easy to see. But it's so rare I build a full wing key layout these days. Almost everyone prefers wing keyless in the hobby. I think if you go outside of the hobby and you go into just the filthy casuals of keyboards, they tend to prefer wing key, but almost everyone in the hobby prefers wing keyless. Mr. Besic, I'm good, man. I hope you're doing well too. I am slowly progressing through my keycap sets to use your wonderful new software. I've been stripping keycaps off of keyboards for 3 days now and getting them back into their original tubs. I wasn't a fan of the B-Day privacy music. Wait, what? B-Day privacy music? Yeah, Nervwrecker is in transit, yeah. We got the notification there and say it should be on our updates already, moons from this morning. I'm not sure as a chip or an edible utensil. They're both. They're both. You know, like I think a chip can be like a standard chip shop chip can be a utensil sometimes if you're dipping sauce. A chicken nugget can be a utensil at times as well. So I think that's fair. Cutlery utensil, same thing. Sauce boat. Okay. There we go. That is the keyboard assembled. Well, the switch is installed anyway. It's looking mighty fine. Okay, so we do have the foam that we're going to lay in the bottom of the case, which is going to go that way around. Which I don't think we need to trim this one. I think that's going to be okay, and that's just going to sit underneath to hold the hot swap sockets and support them. And then I think we need the. Oh, we have the feet already out around there, so I don't think we need this anymore. I don't think we need the plates. No, we might need the plates silicone pellets, and then we'll need the screws. Excellent. Okay, let's put the silicone pellets on. Will these sit on here or... Oh, okay, so they need to rest in the case. So before we go any further, we do need to get the top case back and then we can lay the build inside it. So time to glove back up. No, I don't collect them. I do have a lot that I need to sell. Laser Fox, like I have a lot of Magic the Gathering cards that I do need to sell. Like maybe 10,000. So I need to work through that. Unless you want to make me an offer. But yeah, I don't personally collect them though. Let's try and get these gloves back the right way. Luckily you're in the kitchen. Nice. Not played paper since 2019. Wow, given it was a new username. Today I learned I'm a dirty casual. I think I said filthy, actually. I should have just got a new pair of gloves, shouldn't I? I'm just trying to be tight though here. Are there any numpads upcoming? I don't think so. We always struggle to sell numpads. Like no one ever seems to want to buy them. So I think we'll struggle to because we struggle to sell them. We don't tend to order them in. Like I don't think there's anything coming up that I'm aware of. Plate silicone pellets. Okay. So, how these little silicone pellets act is they act as a force break between the plate and the case, and they should kind of clip in. There's like a little these like 3D injection molded pellets, and you'll see there's like a little semicircle above the plate mount point. This bit here, and they should kind of sit into that. So I'm just going to try and do this with gloves on, which might be a little bit painful, just like so. I'm just going to go around and I'm going to put these in place. I think I could use the rest of my life without using an numpad. That's fair. I use them for like Excel and stuff like that. There's a lot of work I have to do, like designer royalties or accounting stuff, where I just keep a numpad just to one side, just so I can use it as and when I need to. I'm hoping that these are going to stay in when I flip the plate upside down, but I'm not convinced that they will. But I hope they do. But there you go. They're all nicely installed now. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip the plate and PCB upside down. I'm going to drop it into its correct position. And then we can take the screws and we can screw it back in. I want the piglet so bad. Yeah, I did want the piggy boards, but I just can't justify the cost of them. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a glove off just to use my screwdriver here, because otherwise I'll never get these in place. Let's see what size screwdriver I need here. So I'm just going to go finger tight with these. Don't need to go too tight. Good afternoon, Mr. Reed. I hope you're doing well, good sir. I hope your trip to London was okay. I did see that you had some flight issues. Okay, last screw, and then we can make sure everything's aligned nicely. There we go. So then we're now looking at the build. And this unfinished copper, unfinished aluminium raw is super nice. Right, let's see if I can get this glove back on, or if I need to get a new one. Now you understand why gloves? Yeah, it's raw aluminium. I don't want to mark it for the customer. Oh no, I've split the glove. New glove time. Right. This customer's going to be getting a glove bill. Okay, so we don't need that anymore, we don't need that anymore, and we don't need that. So that can all go to one side. We do need this, and we will need those. So let's get that big slab of copper base back. Oh my god, that's so heavy. Gee whiz, that's hefty. Oof. Right. Now we can pop the foam in the base and align it with the case. Should be somewhere around there. And then we can pop the top case back on. Then we can flip the board over. Keyboard going to be pregnant now? Yeah. What's in the operation room today? This is a customer's build, and it is a... oh, that's not fitting quite right. Let's try that again. This is a Tofu TKL. Okay, that is definitely not fitting right. Let's see if we can try that again. Do we have that upside down? We have the foam upside down, that might explain it a little bit. Okay, let's try and do it this way. That's much better. Okay, let's get that screwed in. And then we can put the feet in as well. It is seriously heavy. It's not like the Simo TKL heavy, but it's a chunk, I can tell you that. We can wait once I've got the feet on it. How's my day going today? Yeah, it's going okay. I'm just waiting for UPS to turn up and DHL to turn up, collect packages, and then it'll be time for me to go to the barber this afternoon. I have an appointment at 4:30, so I need to get over there for that. Other than that, it's a good day. I was supposed to be getting my car cleaned today, but unfortunately the guy coming to do it has cried off and said he can't attend, so that's not happening anymore. There we go. Right, let's see if we can get these feet installed now. These were being very finicky before, so hopefully we can get them in. do not want to stay. I get that they're supposed to be friction fit, but they just don't want to stay in place. One in. Kind of having to fight these in. It's 2 in. I might find this easy without gloves on, but I don't want to mark this customer's board with it being raw alu and raw copper. I don't believe that this has been clear coated, just from the feel of it through gloves. Is that in? It's about as good as it's going to go. I suspect the customer's going to have to reinstall these when it arrives because they won't pop out very easily, I suspect. Was the Tofu popular? The TKL wasn't, no. Or certainly not here at PT. Let's give this away and see how much it weighs. So, conscious of ripping off those feet. It's just shy of 12 pounds. 11 pounds 8 ounces, which is in kilos 5.23 kilos. So when I said it was 5 kilos earlier on, it's 5.23 kilos without any keycaps on it. That's how heavy this thing is, which is pretty chunky. So not Simo TKL heavy, but chunk nonetheless. Right, gloves off, and now I can put some keycaps on the board. Is there a dab low-tech adhesive of some sort? Okay, feel like that. Yeah, I think like some Pritt stick or something. I think they're supposed to push in and kind of like click in, but they're kind of misshapen of the feet a little bit, and there's too much rubber around the outside. It's fine though. It's fine. Right. I'm gonna just grab some random keycaps for this build because I don't think it really matters what we put on there because it's gonna come off straight away. Yeah, I'll grab those and I'll put some keycaps on, and we'll see how it sounds. Why can I not find a slot for my screwdrivers here? There we go. There we go. And there we go. So I'm just going to grab a nice keycap set and we'll put that on and we'll see how it looks. Okay, we're gonna go with GMK Vaporwave. I'm just gonna use a glove to just move the keyboard slightly, probably damaging those feet. This is a raw aluminium case. You should really start showcasing a set of keycaps you're planning to sell on each build. Maybe, but the problem is a lot of the keycaps don't actually exist until after the group buys happen, so that's not always possible, but yeah. And I don't like to use these as purely shilling like streams. Like, I get that I could, but I don't like to do that. Is it treated? No, that's why I was using rubber gloves earlier on. I don't want to put fingerprints all over it. So I'm just going to be very, very careful to not actually touch the board itself whilst we're building it. And put keycaps on. I mean, your personal keycaps that you're selling? Oh, yeah, okay. It's still shilling, isn't it? But yeah, I haven't finished taking them off of keyboards yet. So I started this week to start to remove them from all of the keyboards they're on. So a lot of the keyboards in my drawer behind me now don't have keycaps on where they used to do. So yeah, we'll work through it eventually. This is one of my favourite keycap sets of all time. I'm just a big, big fan of the way it looks. High vis would look good. Yeah, this is a nice set. This is one of my favourite sets. I really like this set. This is GMK Vaporwave. That's the wrong keycap profile. I'll have to change that. Good progress now. Have you received any word on the Cherry Love International kit yet? No, I think Sharon was chasing that for me. That's the correct end key that we need for this. Let's just change that. Sharon was chasing that for me the other day, but she hasn't heard back yet. So as soon as we do, we'll confirm. And if you're one of the people affected, you will get an email from us. Sometimes these things take a little bit of time.
Incredible.
Thank you so much, Behave, for the follow. I thoroughly appreciate that. The only thing that had made this set better would have been R5 bottom row. I would have loved this set with an R5 bottom row. starting to get there though. And then we can test that it works. And then we can get it to the customer. Okay. That is the board all assembled, and that looks pretty good. It's difficult for me to pick up though, so yeah. This is Vaporwave. Yeah, this is Vaporwave. Difficult for me to pick up the board here because I don't want to mark it with fingerprints. But it is, and it's just so heavy. But it is super nice, super shiny. How that's come out. The copper base, natural machined finish, up to the customer how they want to finish it later. Super duper nice, super cool keycap set. Just looks phenomenal. Was this top mount? Yes, we did build this top mount. And now I can't get the key. Oh, there we go. Let's straighten that up, and then I can plug it in and we can give it a test to make sure everything works.
Tasty, tasty.
Hungry Hannah, thank you so much for lighting up my pink rocket ship. Oh, I don't want to move this too much, so you're going to have to cope with my head for a second. Do we get the noise? We do get the noise. Okay, let's get Switch Hitter up. Thank you for that, Hungry Hannah. 19 months. Right, let's see. Let's pause the music and let's see how it sounds as we go through getting the keys checked out. It sounds so good. Okay, so we will have an FN key here. That should be FN. Yeah, there we go. That sounds so good. Especially that top row. That sounds so nice. Yeah, this is an ANSI ISO a hybrid build, yeah, that the customer requested. But that sounds good. It's all working. Yeah, that is our build for today, completed. Pretty impressed with that. It's such a beautiful board. Do you think the keyboard needs foam, or is it more about preference? This is a customer build, so I've just built it how they've asked me to. I suspect the board would sound a little bit more poppy, a little bit more clacky without the foams. But it is really, really nice. And of course the keycaps were just my choice randomly, but they are going to come off the board now. Because unfortunately, I can't give the customer the keycaps. Have you ever made a board for someone and when you test it, you thought, I don't like the way that sounds? Yeah, that happens quite often, Rob. Like, there's a lot of times when we build a board for customers and I'm not comfortable with the way it sounds, so I'll send them a little recording and I'll say, look, this is how it sounds, the way you've asked me to build it for you. If you would like, I can try it in a different way, or I can ship you the board as is and you can try it yourself. I tend to only offer products for sale on the website, though, that I know will be okay and good enough for most people to build. And when you do start putting foams in stuff, they tend to all sound reasonable anyway. So for the vast majority of people, they prefer a foamy type noise, something a bit more thock rather than clack. It's only you are a real enthusiast if you prefer a clacky poppy sound to a foamy thocky sound. So that's generally the difference. Most people would prefer the foamy sound, and most boards offer foams these days and sound great with the foam. So yeah, but this board sounds great. Thoroughly happy with that. But again, they might like the way it sounds, Rob, and I might not like it. So it's all about preference, and it's all about what people like and what people are expecting to get from a build as well. So, you know, different people's mileage may vary. Right, okay, so that is that. Next job is, if anyone's got any more questions for me or anything else that you'd like to talk about, please do let me know. I'm going to spend now another 5 minutes taking these keycaps off the board, because whilst we've tested it out, I can't send these keycaps to the customer, unfortunately, because these are from my personal collection. So I do need to take all of these off, and then I can get the board wrapped up and shipped to the customer without risk of putting any more fingerprints on it. Just double checking against the customer's image that I've built it exactly as they asked to, and I have, which means we can get this shipped out for the customer. Okay, why is my Discord going absolutely disgustingly nuts? It looks super nice with it. It is one of those key sets that looks super nice. I would love to get another run of this key set. I don't think it would do particularly well, but it is one of my favorites. I used to have this on until I sold it. I had a Jane V2 CE, which was the black and rainbow version, and I had this keycap set on it for a long time. And showed this tattoo on your finger, was that as a replacement for your ring? Yeah, so I had that done just before Christmas. Me and my wife got not matching ones, but complementary ones. So yeah, so that's mine. 2 crowns, king and queen, and yeah, it was basically because both of us have lost a lot of weight and our wedding rings no longer fit. So we had that done, so we didn't have to worry about wearing our wedding rings anymore. Trying not to use the keycap puller up against the metal edges where I can help it. There's like a couple of places where I'm not going to be able to avoid it, but I'm trying not to use it there. But yeah, more tattoos to come in the future. I need to get my my thigh finished off actually. That's something I need to try and prioritize once we've moved house. Any good starter kits, blank boards you recommend? Want to make my own, prefer full-size keyboards and numpad and everything, which seems oddly hard to find. The Neo 98, which I can show you, is in pre-order right now. I say I can show you. I don't know what I've actually done with it. I did have one to hand. This is the Neo 98. This is, I think it starts at £135, and it's absolutely beautiful. We built it on stream a couple of weeks ago. You can configure it however you like, and then you can assemble it, just like I assembled the one on stream today. Beautiful keyboard. So yeah, so that's in pre-order right now. You can figure that out on our website until the end of the month, I think. I think it ends at the end of the month. If I show you, go on to prototypist.net. Look in live pre-orders right at the top of the website, and it should be in here. Neo 98 keyboard kit. There you go, £136 it starts at. Might change a little bit depending on some of the options. You can't see the drop downs here on stream, but there are drop downs in each of these boxes. Some of them do add a small cost to it, but I think it's very few and far between. Like if you go for the mirror finish, it adds £14 for the base and things like that. Yeah, I think the most expensive is to have the dusk finish on the bottom, which adds 27 quid to it. But even then, it's still under 160 quid plus shipping. So yeah, those are available until the 31st of January. Might be something you want to consider. Yeah, full layout. ISO support is there as well, or it does ANSI. This one was built ANSI. Additional keys here and a full numpad. So there. tactile thocky switches, go for the Gator on chocolate smoothies. They're of light tactile, but really nice. Or if you want something that's a bit more of a firmer tactile, go for the cheesecake switches. Trying to figure out my builds on FR4, Brass and CF. Got some Hades switches set around. Yeah, the Hades V1 were really good. SWG rubber keycaps look nice. The novelties are cool. Yeah. SWG beige is on its way to us. It should be in stock in a week or so. And then rubber is in group buy right now, so you can pick that up. But it is really nice. There's a ton of nice stuff out at the minute as well. I need to do it. Like, we don't do enough marketing emails, but I've rehashed all this morning. I spent 5 hours rehashing all of our automated emails that happen when you get when you put an order in, and then when it's your second and third order and stuff like that. So I did rehash a lot of that kind of stuff this morning. I've got a few more to do, like when people hit 10 orders and then 25 orders and then 100 orders. I want to add something special that happens to people when they hit that order number. But yeah, I need to figure that out. Did you change the copy fit? It has left the building. Which one's that on, Captain Reed? Yeah, the Gator and chocolate smoothie, Rob. Yeah, it's in stock on our website. If you go to the shop in stock switches, and then it's this one here, Gator and chocolate smoothie. It's a light tactile, but it's super smooth. If you prefer something with a bit more thock to it, there are the cheesecake round twos, which are these ones. Hope that helps. Did you change the code? It has left the building out of interest. I don't know which one that is, Reed. I went through all of the ones for when people placed orders. Like there's like a million different flows for different emails. But yeah, if you can send that to me, that's good. Don't know if I quite agreed with officially left the building when it would have still been sat in the loading area. Like, I mean, that's a semantics thing. Once you've got a shipping tracking reference, it's on its way, right? That's the thing. Whether we send that email like 2 o'clock or whatever is different. Yeah, forward it on to me, Reed. I'll take a look at it. The ones that I was doing were specifically some different ones in the flows, like new customer type stuff. New customer, first order, third order, then 5th, 10th, 25th, and 100th, I think. I've placed orders in the past with those special emails start straight away or from order to one on my next order. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so because you've already got a list of orders, you'd be like partway through. Let's say you've made 40 orders already, Jehovah. You would then next get the 50th one once I've finished putting them in place. So you'll get the next one. If you would like me to send you the other ones just so you can read them, I can absolutely do that. I might be able to even dig them out and show you what I changed them to in a second. Got a little bit of time. Not shaming, thanking. Let me see if I can dig them. Let me take these keycaps off and then I'll see if I can dig up the ones I built today. Because the way that Shopify works, like I have to be careful that I'm not showing actual customer data and showing you just test data, but I think I can do that. I was toying with the idea of spending half an hour to make a flow for our #1 customer, whoever'd spend the most, but I'm not going to do that. Texting me telling me I've got to go get food for dinner. We're having chili tonight, she said. That's a nice amount of orders. Do you know what our average customer? Well, it depends on how you count it, right? I class 2 average customers, right? Okay, I class an average customer that only ever makes 1 order. That's one set of customers. That's one subset of customers. So that type of customer makes 1 order and then is generally done. Okay, never comes back for whatever reason, which is about 2% of our customer base. the other series of customers, the average number of orders that a customer makes on our website is something like 42 or 43 orders, which is kind of insane when you think about it. The average is like 40 odd. Which stabilizer do you recommend to go with the Neo 75? I'd recommend the Night V4s that we have in stock. They're really good, and it's what I used on this build today. They sound good, they feel good, they're easy to tune. That's what my money would go on. I'm above average in more than one thing. What's the other thing? Okay, so let me see if I can show you what I built today, or changed. But I need to do it in a way that doesn't share any information. That I shouldn't be sharing. Okay, I think these might work. Okay, so that's one. That's two. That's three. Okay, this is kind of some of it. I'll show you in a second. So, we generally had the kind of like the standard here. So this is like all built into. So we see some test data at the top here, but the effectively how it works is these flows are built into Shopify, and you can choose to use them or not. We had the standard ones there, and effectively what it has here is it says this is the criteria: customer left online store without making a purchase. This one's called abandoned cart. So if that's true, if it's false, we do nothing. So if the abandonment type is equal to cart, we don't do anything. If it's not equal to cart, we don't do anything. If it is, it's true. Then we wait for 4 hours, and then we send a customer a reminder. And I redrafted this marketing email and rechanged it, all sort of stuff. So it's like, hi there, we noticed you left a few things in your cart, and for now they're still sitting right where you left them. No pressure, just your next project waiting patiently. If you're still choosing switches, cases, or colors, we get it, details matter. Your cart's ready when you are. But if your mind's already made up, you can pick up where you left off on the button below. Either way, thanks for checking us out. Every kit, part, and project at Prototypist starts with the same thing you've got: curiosity and good taste. Much love, Jane, Prototypist team. And then it kind of has all of the back to your cart and kind of stuff. That's the first one that we do. As well as abandoned cart, we also have abandoned checkout. Very, very similar, but the flow is if they abandon at checkout, and then they get a slightly different email, which is about do you need a helping hand to complete your order? You're right on the edge of checking out, then life or another tab happened. Your details and your things are still here, ready when you are. If you're meant to finish up, you can jump back in on the button below. If something didn't feel quite right, shipping, layout, compatibility, anything, just hit reply and ask. We spend a lot of time deep in this stuff, so you don't have to. Prefer to leave it for now, that's fine too. We're not going anywhere, and neither is your taste. So just like a nice little email to say, just reminder it's that. And then the other one I built was this one, which is order created, wait for 16 hours, and then if it equals to 1, we send this email, which is basically thanks for your order. We really appreciate you choosing Prototypist to help guide you on your keyboard journey. Hi there, thank you very much for your first order with Prototypist. It genuinely means a lot that you chose us to be part of your keyboarding journey. Right now we're getting everything ready. In-stock orders ship right away, but if your order was a group buy or pre-order, it'll ship when it's ready. If you're ever unsure, you can check the arrival dates on our updates. Link to the updates. We're always making sure that packages leave us in the kind of condition we want you to receive ourselves. You'll get a shipping email as soon as your parcel is on the move. If you have any questions about your order, build choices, or what to pair it with next, just reply to this email. We're always happy to talk keyboards, layouts, and is this actually compatible before you commit to anything else. In the meantime, welcome to Prototypist. Come check us out on socials. We hope this is the first of many projects you enjoy building, using, and maybe even showing off. I love showing your builds on Insta and Discord. Much love, Jay and the Prototypist team. Again, just a nice little email to say thank you for being a first-time customer. Then when it gets to 2, and this is the bit where I need to build more on, so we've got to second and third order, then it will be 5th, then 10th, then 50th, then 100, I think. I haven't decided yet, but we've got to do that. Blimey, we must be doing something right. Hey there, blimey, we must be getting something right if you've come back for more. Thank you very much for placing another order with Prototypist. Repeat customers are pretty much the nicest feedback we can get. Your order's now in the queue. We'll pick it, check it, and pack it with the same care as your first one, then send you a dispatch email once it's on the way. That'll be pretty much straight away from in-stock orders. But for pre-orders and group buys, it'll be a little later. You can follow our updates pages to see progress. If this new kit, setup switches, or setup parts is part of a large project, feel free to reply, or tag us on socials and tell us what you're building. We love seeing how these bits and pieces turn into something you actually type on every day, and we adore sharing builds with the community. If you have any questions or feedback, please reach out. We're always open to feedback and happy to help in any way we can. Thanks again for trusting us with your keyboarding journey. It really does make a difference to a small team like ours. That's the second one. Then when you make your third order, we send out a further one, which I quite like this one. It goes, oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. That's the title. Cripes, you've bought again. This might be becoming an addiction that we fully support. Considering how terrifying prototyping was to start, every sale is still a constant source of inspiration. So thank you once again. Here's me prattling on about keyboard stuff, linked to our blogs, just because if you've made 3 orders, you might be that into keyboards, you want to read a blog, and how it's shaped my life, and a teensy tiny bit, yours too, maybe. Thanks again for supporting a small, slightly obsessive keyboard outfit like ours. You're a big part of why we get to keep doing this. Look after yourself, Jay and the Prototypers team. And then, as I say, I do have some templates already written for the 5th, 10th, I think 50th, and then 100th orders. So that's all going to be built into this conditional flow at some point in the near future. But yeah, that took me 5 hours to build because everything needed to be recolor coded, all the text needed to be changed, new images, new logos, everything needed to be added, and all the templates had to be built from scratch, as well as building all the logic and testing it out. So it took me quite a few hours. But yeah, the rest of those will be on the website. Hopefully by the end of the week. I think Friday afternoon I've got an hour or two that I can build out the rest of this flow. So yeah, there we go. Right, okay, it's 2 o'clock. I finished the customer build. I need to put some gloves back on so I can actually pack the keyboard away. But it sounds and looks fantastic, so I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm going to head off now, have something to eat, and get this shipped to the customer. And I'll see you guys on Discord, Instagram, and wherever else you might be over the coming days. And I'll see you again on Sunday when we're going to be building a flyback keyboard, which I'm actually really excited to build, which is for another customer, which is over there. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you again soon. Take care and have a great rest of your week, guys.